Hey, what's up? Zach here, and today I have a heavyweight battle between the Asics Court FF2 and the brand new Adidas Barricade. And this head-to-head to me is more interesting than most, just because Novak Djokovic, one of the most famous players to ever put a Barricade on, ended up leaving Adidas and went to Asics designing his own shoe, which does incorporate a lot of old Barricade technology. So it's going to be really interesting to see, is his update in the Asics line better than what Adidas could come up with in their new version of the Barricade? Let's find out. And as always, these head-to-heads are judged 4 categories, 5 points each: speed, comfort, durability, and playability, total out of 20. Now, in terms of speed, both of these shoes are really hard to judge just based on their suicide times, with the Barricade at 14.66 seconds, and the Court FF2 coming in right around an even 15. Neither shoes are featherlight speed-focused shoes, however, you can tell the Barricade is much more low profile than the Court FF2, so it does cut through the air a little faster. It also is just a tad more stable than the Court FF2, you're a little lower to the ground, and that arch support system underneath is just a little stiffer than the Trustix system on the Court FF2. But the Asics Court FF2 is a lot faster than the Barricade when you're in awkward positions because the shoe grips so well when you are on one foot or in a pretty compromised position. And because both of them actually do have really good court speed, or I would say match day speed, I'm going to give them both a 4 out of 5, just because both of them are really fast shoes in their own right. They're just not the most speedy shoes out there right now. Now, getting into comfort, the Adidas Barricade to me is one of the more uncomfortable shoes I've put on my foot this year. I have a little bit more of a high arched, and the shoe has a really shallow upper on it. It really kind of squeezes your foot. Now, I know that's for a little more aerodynamics and low to the ground feel. However, it kind of just scrunches your foot up. Also, because the lace line does diverge laterally, which is really secure and does give you a little more speed like we talked about, it also does just really give you a lot of constriction here on the inside of your foot, as well as here on the outside of the foot, because you do sit so low in the shoe. The other problem with the new Barricades is, even though they solve the issue of the ankle pads kind of digging into you, they've also made the ankle counter way too tilted inward, and that really does aggravate the Achilles tendon. And that's not just me, I've actually had a lot of comments about that as well. And so because of all those lingering problems, I am giving the Barricades a 1 out of 5 for comfort. Now, the Asics Court FF2 has some of its own issues with comfort because it is just one single layer of urethane on the top of it. It can bend and snap, as you can see it doing right now, especially right here along the big toe joint. That does take a couple hours to break in. And because it is a single piece ankle entry here, you can get some rubbing here from the urethane on the top of your foot until it kind of breaks in and bends. So there is a little bit of an extended break in with the Court FF2. However, the Asics Flight from underneath, as well as the Trustix system, do give you a pretty plush ride underneath of your foot. So in terms of that, the shoe does feel pretty resilient, at least underfoot. And because a lot of these comfort issues with the Court FF2 resolve in a short period of time, I am giving them a 4 out of 5 for comfort, just because once you break them in, they actually do feel really good. Now, durability, I think, is where these two shoes really start to diverge. If you look at the Adidas Barricade, it doesn't really have any protection here in the toe cap. So if you drag at all, even if you just drag on a slice backhand, or when you're kind of hitting an inside out forehand, you're going to start to rub right through this outer layer. There's really not much protection. Now, the treads on the Adidas Barricade are really good. The Dremel test on these showed a really tough tread. However, the uppers being so exposed because the shoe sits so low, they're just a prime target for getting ripped to shreds. The Court FF2, on the other hand, is built like an armored tank. The whole thing's a toe drag guard, so it's going to give you a ton of wear protection. Plus, the outsole tread is that really hard compound rubber, and just the direction of the treads is just a little more ergonomic, so you don't end up burning through the treads as fast as some other herringbone or wave shoes. And so, of course, no surprise, the Asics Court FF2, 5 out of 5 on durability, with the Adidas Barricade coming in at a 2 out of 5 on durability. And in terms of the all-important playability, both of these shoes have great court presence, and they really can do some interesting things once you actually get a racket and ball in your hands. Starting with the Adidas Barricade, the shoe does sit so low to the ground, and the uppers kind of put you really low into the midsole, so you do have so much stability in the Barricade. You really never feel unstable. I never felt like I was going to roll for a second in these shoes. They just give you such a great low to the ground feel, plus they've got bounce foam in them, so you get a little bit more pop out of them than, say, something with Boost or some other foams out there. And even though it does make the shoe lack in comfort, all that security on the shoe just gives you the ultimate confidence to really go after balls and run as hard as you can and cut as hard as you can in these shoes because they're just so darn stable. And on the same vein, the Court FF2 is really meant to be played in awkward positions. It's meant to be played when you're using it while you're doing the splits. It's meant to be slid on a hard court. It's meant to be kind of beat up on court. The shoe can just take such a pounding from you and keep going just because of how this shoe is armored all around, plus the external shank and that truss stick system, as well as the external heel counter on the heel. The shoe is just made for you to really go after balls and not have to worry about what's on your foot. But I think the most impressive thing about the Court FF2 is its grip. Whereas the Barricade is a little bit more stable than the Court FF2, the FF2 has a lot better grip than the Barricade, so you're kind of trading one for the other in both these shoes. However, just from a raw tennis playing perspective, both of these are an easy 5 out of 5 in terms of playability. And that brings us to a grand total of 12 out of 20 for the Adidas Barricade and 18 out of 20 for the Asics Court FF2. There's honestly not a lot of drama in this battle, unfortunately. The Barricade does just about everything the Court FF2 does. The Court FF2 just does it with a little more durability and a little bit more comfort. But remember, don't discount the Adidas Barricade yet, just because if you're someone that needs the ultimate in security and stability from a tennis shoe, the Barricade line is still kind of the gold standard in that space. But of course, I'd love to know, am I wrong? Which one of these would you pick? Let me know down in the comments below. And remember, these are just two of the many shoes we've put head to head this year, so if you want to see the other brand new shoes of 2021 go head to head with each other, make sure you click into the playlist up above and subscribe down below. Respect your rubber and foam. I'll see you in the next video.